Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges' 7-year-old Western is a reminder that Yellowstone's Taylor Sheridan needs to make another movie. Taylor Sheridan's neo-Western film Hell or High Water is proof that he needs to make another movie alongside his ongoing television shows. In recent years, Taylor Sheridan has mostly been known for Yellowstone and other TV shows like Landman and Tulsa King. While Sheridan's TV shows are wildly popular and extremely compelling, the writer got his start behind the camera by making feature films. His first movie was 2015's Sicario, and he went on to write 5 more films while he was also starting Yellowstone and its spin-off shows. Since Sheridan has become king of prestige TV, it's easy to forget how good he was at writing films. Of the 6 films he's made, only 1 is under 50% with critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and 3 are certified fresh. While it's always great to get new seasons of shows like Lioness or new original series like Landman, Sheridan's talents could also be put to great use writing films again. One of his movies, Hell or High Water, proves just how much the world is missing out from Sheridan's decision to focus on television over film. There's no better proof of just how good Taylor Sheridan was at writing movies than 2016's Hell or High Water, starring Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges. Hell or High Water follows brothers Tanner, Ben Foster, and Toby Howard, Pine, as they rob a series of banks while Texas Ranger Marcus Hamilton, Bridges, nips at their heels. In an expertly paced 102 minutes, audiences learn that Toby is robbing the banks to pay off the mortgage on his late mother's ranch, and that he intends to give the land and its oil rights to his children to break the cycle of poverty they've been living in. Hell or High Water is easily one of the best neo-westerns ever made, and it's because Sheridan handcrafted its story to mesh so well with the genre. Hell or High Water is filled with societal critiques about the banking system, cycles of poverty, and more that fit perfectly with how the world has moved on from the days of cowboys and outlaws. The film is also fantastic at developing its characters naturally. In just a few minutes, all of Toby and Tanner's years as siblings seem like common knowledge, and Hamilton's worries about retirement seem like second nature. Hell or High Water is such a good example of Taylor Sheridan's skills as a writer that it may be proof he's even better at writing movies than he is at writing television shows. Sheridan's shows are, of course, extremely popular for a reason. They're all well-written and crafted specifically to keep viewers on the edge of their seats, and they often feature complex storylines that end up resolving beautifully. Sheridan's movies have just as much punch, but they're arguably better in one key area: pacing. Most of the criticism Taylor Sheridan has received in recent years is a result of the episodic TV format more than anything else. For example, in Landman, Angela, Ali Larter, and Ainsley, Michelle Randolph have been major sources of criticism, partially because of their slow character development. It wasn't until the ending of Landman Episode 6 that they did anything but lounge around and drink. None of Sheridan's movies have that same problem because he doesn't have to stretch out any stories into a 10-hour season. Sheridan's writing works best when it's lean, focused, and efficient, and movies lend themselves to that style better than shows do. Even though he's clearly great at writing movies, Taylor Sheridan hasn't written a feature film since 2021's Those Who Wish Me Dead. He has instead focused entirely on TV shows, which is likely a feature of his deal with Paramount, which has him contracted to produce series until 2028, via The Hollywood Reporter. Because of his Paramount deal, it doesn't seem like Sheridan will be returning to movies, at least not in full force, anytime soon. TV shows that can keep viewers watching for hours on end and subscribed for 3 months at a time are much more profitable to streaming services like Paramount Plus than single movies. There is, however, a caveat in Sheridan's deal that would let him shop original movies to third-party buyers, and the list of Taylor Sheridan's upcoming projects reportedly would take advantage of that. Sheridan's upcoming adaptation of Empire of the Summer Moon may be his first feature film in years, once it's completed. Since it's so early in development, however, it's not clear if Empire of the Summer Moon will be a film or another series. If he does end up taking the show route for that project, Sheridan doesn't have anything else that he's announced lined up for the theater. Sheridan also owns and operates the 6666 Ranch in real life, which was a major reason he took the deal with Paramount in the first place, via THR. The 4 sixes is a major expense for Sheridan, and there is a chance he could write another film separate from Empire of the Summer Moon to help cover those costs, if he can find the time, that is. With any luck, Taylor Sheridan's future may include another movie of the same caliber as Hell or High Water, and hopefully sooner rather than later. The resonance of Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges' stellar 2016 film, Hell or High Water, still lingers vividly in the cinematic consciousness. A 7-year-old gem, it serves as a testament to Taylor Sheridan's unparalleled ability to weave gripping narratives of modern Americana. As viewers continue to marvel at the poetic despair of Yellowstone and its spin-offs, there's an undeniable clamor for Sheridan to return to his roots and deliver another feature film. Set against the backdrop of the arid, unforgiving Texas landscape, Hell or High Water is more than a crime thriller. It's an exploration of desperation, loyalty, and the socio-economic pressures that can transform good men into outlaws. Chris Pine's portrayal of Toby Howard, a loving father determined to secure a future for his sons, and Jeff Bridges' cantankerous Texas Ranger, Marcus Hamilton, are performances that refuse to fade into obscurity. Their story, raw, haunting, and steeped in moral ambiguity, feels as urgent today as it did upon release, and therein lies the compelling argument. Sheridan needs to make another movie to expand on the themes and tones that he so masterfully brought to life in Hell or High Water. A return to the big screen. While Sheridan has found unprecedented success on the small screen with Yellowstone and its sprawling universe, his cinematic voice is equally, if not more, powerful. Feature films allow for a concentration of narrative energy, a kind of storytelling that's unencumbered by the pacing demands of episodic television. With Hell or High Water, Sheridan proved that in just 2 hours he could create characters and worlds that resonate deeply, leaving audiences pondering their own moral compasses long after the credits roll. Consider the barren plains and dusty small towns that populate Sheridan's storytelling landscape. In a world increasingly dominated by sprawling superhero franchises and CGI-laden blockbusters, Sheridan's films ground audiences. They remind us of a grittier, more authentic side of life. His ability to juxtapose breathtaking vistas with the intimate, often painful struggles of his characters is a gift that's desperately needed on the big screen again. Unfinished conversations. The themes Sheridan tackled in Hell or High Water are far from resolved. The desperation that drives Toby and Tanner Howard to rob banks stems from systemic injustices, predatory loans, a crumbling rural economy, and a society that often prioritizes profit over people. These issues are, if anything, more pressing today. Sheridan's voice is uniquely suited to explore how these challenges have evolved, potentially crafting another modern Western that interrogates the soul of contemporary America. Perhaps this time Sheridan could delve deeper into the environmental challenges that faced rural communities. A tale of water rights disputes, the oil industry's impact on small towns, or even a modern gold rush could provide fertile ground for his sharp, evocative writing. The story could feature a new protagonist, a single mother fighting to protect her family's land from a corrupt corporation, or an aging sheriff grappling with the changing face of justice in his once sleepy town. Casting the modern myth. Casting has always been one of Sheridan's strong suits. Chris Pine's understated performance in Hell or High Water demonstrated that he's far more than a charming action star. Jeff Bridges brought gravitas and warmth to Marcus Hamilton, making his journey feel heartbreakingly real. In Sheridan's next film, there's an opportunity to build a similarly compelling ensemble. Imagine the likes of Oscar Isaac as a conflicted antihero, torn between doing what's right and what's necessary to survive. Florence Pugh could step into the role of a determined young lawyer, fighting not just for her clients but for her own place in a male-dominated world. And perhaps Sheridan could bring back Sam Elliott, whose rugged, world-weary presence would be a perfect fit for any modern Western.